just here to talk about how to prepare for your coming test 3 and also maybe in preparing your cheat sheet. So firstly, general idea about statistics such as this and this will be useful. Essentially what we're trying to assess is these 3 things: your knowledge about confidence in the world, test of hypothesis, and the right sample size, which will return a particular level of confidence. So these 3 is they are very important. Some of the basic formula you should know this: finding mean, standard deviation, sample and populations, and also mean and sample populations by if you're given the proportion. The empirical rule will be useful. This thing here, or graphically, is represented as follows: the normal curve, and the idea of standard deviation and so on from the mean. And then this is a very important idea of probability density function. And probability density function, or commonly known as PDF, is only for a continuously distributed function. So some of the properties are this, written here. You take a look. I will discuss examples specifically on idea of PDF later. The idea of standard normal is very important, so you should probably write this down in your cheat sheet, comparing the z-score and the actual score, and understand the meaning between this. And then if you're not too sure, just look at example 6, and I think example 7 would be very useful also. So take a look and understand the meaning of standard deviations, especially the standard normal distribution. Now next, I'm going to introduce a few examples. Suggest that you take a look at example 9, 10, example 11, and examples 12, and then 13 and also 14. That will be very useful for your preparation of the test. Now we come to 3 very important examples and concepts and ideas that you really need to master. So take a look at example 17 and really take a hard look at example 18. Make sure you know what you're doing, what is happening, and also understand central limit theorem. If you don't really get it, take a hard look at the example 19. It is very essential that you know what is going on. Example 18, 19, and 17. Next is a very important test. This part really need to master this. Hypothesis testing for mean. And if you're not too sure, you can take a look at these examples. Example 22, very useful for you to understand what's going on. And if you're not too sure, you can write this down, everything into your reference sheet. Okay, so again I repeat, this is very important also. So example 22 also, take really hard look at example 22. And lastly, for chapter 7, the ideas of confidence interval, confidence level, and so on. This is the examples. So if you want to find out more, make sure you study example 27, 28, and also if you can do some of the exercise. Example 29 is also very useful to know more about confidence in the world. And lastly, to determine how large a sample should be given a certain level of confidence in the world that you should attain. Take a look at this and make sure you write this particular formula on page 272 into your cheat sheet. It will be very useful. And that's it for chapter 7. Now moving on to chapter 8. This chapter 8 is really about binomial probability distribution. General idea about binomial you should know well, so at least take a look at example 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 to know more. So in example 3 and 4 explains how you calculate the mean and standard deviations of the distribution, the binomial distribution. You need to know this. And as with hypothesis testing for mean, we also have hypothesis testing of proportion. This one, and this is a step for you to do so. Make sure that you notice the difference between using a mean, but in this case you're using a proportion. But here we come to the confidence intervals for proportion. This is very important. Make sure you know how to do this so that you can get the confidence interval for of 95%. And take a look at the example 8, example 8, and example 9. But what else? Yes, there's one more thing. You make sure you need to know how to choose sample size when you testing or calculating for confidence interval of a proportion, and this is a formula that very useful. Write this down in a cheat sheet. But of course, the main formula would be this one, very important. If you're still not too sure, take a look at example 11, and that's it. And hope you prepare your cheat sheet well and the test well. All the best.